Okay, let's get right into it. We're talking about a huge shift in how live-streamed events work. You know, who controls them, who actually makes money from them, and who really owns them. This is something that could seriously rewrite the rules for every creator out there.
So let me just ask you this. If you're a creator, maybe you're streaming a concert, a workshop, whatever, who really owns that digital space? I mean, you'd think it's you, right? But the truth is, the platform you're on calls all the shots. They own the venue, they make the rules, and they control your money.
And speaking of money, here's the number that just says it all. 30%. That is the typical cut that a platform takes right off the top. So before you've even paid for your gear, your time, your talent, a massive chunk of your revenue is just gone, straight to the middleman.
So here's how we're going to break this all down today. First, we'll dig into what we're calling streaming's middleman problem. Then we'll look at a whole new on-chain model. We'll get into how smart contracts actually make this possible. See how it puts power back where it belongs, with creators. And finally, we'll talk about why this open future is such a big deal.
All right, let's kick it off with Section 1, the middleman problem. And look, this is about so much more than just that 30% fee. It's about all the hidden costs and the loss of control that come with using the big platforms we all know.
And this really gets to the heart of the creator's dilemma. You've got the high fees, of course, but then there are the payout delays. I mean, you do the work and then you have to wait days, sometimes weeks, to actually get paid. Then you have the risk of chargebacks, where payments can just get reversed. And the core of it all? You don't really own anything, and the platform can change the rules on you whenever they feel like it.
Okay, so that brings us to Section 2, and a completely new way to think about all of this. We're going to talk about a model called A42 live streams, which basically puts your entire event, from the tickets to the access itself, directly on the blockchain.
So, let's just imagine for a second. What if we could just flip the whole script? What if every single live event could be its own independent digital venue that is owned by the creator, not just rented from some giant platform, but built and owned by you, from the ground up? I mean, that's the big idea here.
And here's how it actually works, and it's a really simple concept. One contract equals one stream. From the second it's created, the event is yours. It's totally transparent. Anyone can go and check the details. The tickets aren't just some entry in a database. They're actual secure digital items on the blockchain. And maybe the most important part? The rules of your event are literally baked right into its code.
So for Section 3, let's get into the tech that makes this all happen, the smart contract. And don't worry, it's not as complicated as it sounds. The best way to think of it is like a digital vending machine just for your event.
Right, so a smart contract is really just a program that runs all by itself when certain things happen. The rules are the code. And that vending machine analogy is perfect. A fan puts money in, right? And the machine automatically spits out a ticket that gets them access. There's no cashier, no middleman taking a cut. It's totally direct, and it's guaranteed to work by the code itself.
So the whole life cycle of the stream becomes super simple and clear. First, the event is scheduled, and all the rules get locked into the contract. Then, when it's live, the contract just automatically gives access to everyone who has a ticket. Finally, it's ended. And the real takeaway here? Every single one of these steps can be publicly verified by anyone on the blockchain. Total transparency.
And this is where the power really flips back to you, the creator. You get to set the rules, and the code makes sure they're followed. You can decide exactly how many tickets to sell. You can limit how many any one person can buy. You can even create different tiers, like a standard ticket and a VIP ticket. And you can price everything in stablecoins, which means a $20 ticket actually costs $20. No crypto price swings to worry about.
So all this tech is cool, but it leads us to the most important part. Section 4, power back to creators. Let's talk about the real-world, tangible benefits you get from doing things this way.
And honestly, the best way to see the difference is to just put them side by side. You've got the old way with traditional platforms over here, and the new way with on-chain streams over there. And believe me, the difference is just night and day.
Just look at this breakdown. For fees, you go from that 30% platform cut to no platform cut. For payouts, you go from waiting for days or even weeks to getting paid instantly the second a ticket is sold. For ownership, the venue goes from being owned by the platform to being owned by you. And the rules? They're not enforced by the platform anymore. They're enforced by your code. It completely flips the old model on its head.
So what does that really mean? Well, for starters, it means there's no payment processor in the middle. And because the transactions are direct on the blockchain, the whole risk of chargebacks just disappears.
It means no 30% cut. Simple as that.
100% of the revenue from ticket sales goes directly into the creator's wallet. I mean, that is an absolute game changer for the economics of being a creator.
And finally, it means no payout delays. The moment a fan buys a ticket, that money's yours. It's in your wallet, instantly. This solves one of the biggest, most frustrating cash flow problems for any independent creator.
Now, here's a really interesting detail I love. These on-chain events are designed to be ephemeral. That means the ticket gets you access to the live moment, not a recording you can watch forever. This actually brings back the magic of a real-world event, that feeling of scarcity, you just had to be there. It makes the live experience valuable again.
Okay, so let's wrap this up with our last section. The future is open. Because this whole idea is so much bigger than just one website or one company. It's about the bigger picture.
So while a platform like OpenPlaza might be one of the first places to use this, the technology itself is designed to be a service for the whole community. The point isn't to build another walled garden. The goal is to create open infrastructure that any creator, or any platform for that matter, can use to run their own events on-chain.
And that kind of leaves us with this final big question. What happens when every single creator can build, own, and run their very own digital stage, completely on their own terms? What happens to art and music and education? What incredible new kinds of events are we going to see? That is the future this could unlock.